Okay, I want to do 4 review problems and I'll teach you what you're doing on the actual packet. It says, I have finished 30% of the laps in a race. If I have finished 60 laps, how many laps are in the race? Now you see you got 30% of, so that means you're going to put 30% over 100% anytime you see percent of, and then you're going to set it equal to another ratio. Now you are going to cross multiply and divide. Now let's talk about this. Now you have to label this side. This is always your total, okay? And then have finished, that's the top. Okay, so do I know what I finished? I do. I know it's 60. I'm trying to find the total laps in the race, okay? So again, you can just cross multiply and divide because you know 100 times 60 is going to equal 30 times x, okay? 100 times 60, I can figure that out, and then I just divide that answer by 30, and that's 200, so 200 laps. Okay, 70% of the animals in the zoo were warm-blooded. If there are 400 animals in the zoo, how many were warm-blooded? Okay, so, again, of after the percent means it goes over 100. Okay, now I label this, I got total, and then the top is going to be warm-blooded. Okay, how many warm-bloodeds do I have? I don't know, okay? That's why they're asking me the question, how many were warm-blooded, okay? We have 400 animals at the zoo. So I take 70 times 400 divided by 100, okay? And that's 280, so 280 animals. Okay, and then this is what we were doing yesterday. An item costs $34.99. A 6% tax is added to the price. Find the price of the item after tax has been added, okay? This time it doesn't say percent of though, so it says it's added. So we don't put it over 100. We use what we did yesterday where we take the percentage, a percentage, not the one in the problem, multiplied by the before amount equals the after amount. Okay, so percentage, you don't put the percent in the problem, okay? You take 100% and it was added, so you add 6%, and that's 106%. Now move the decimal twice to the left, and we have 1.06, so that's your percentage. We have to make it a decimal because we're not putting it over 100. Now in the bold it says after, okay? So that means we don't know the after. After's the x, and then the before amount's $34.99. So now the equation, you got 1.06 times $34.99 equals x. So x is here, it's all by itself, so I just go over here and figure out what 1.06 times $34.99 is, okay? You just perform that operation. By the way, my parents left this cat with me, so it's not my cat. If you hear him in the background, it's pretty annoying. Now this is a money problem, so we need 2 digits after the decimal, so 37.08 or 09, it doesn't matter to me. So in a money problem, we need those 2 numbers after the decimal. Okay, a bank account has $5,200 after 4% interest has been added. How much did the bank account have before the interest is added? So again, it's not 4% of, it's 4% added, okay? So again, that's going to be my percentage multiplied by my before equals after. Alright, so my percentage, to figure that out, we need to take the 100% plus 4%. Okay, so 104%, move it twice to the left, you're going to add again, so it'll be 1.04. Okay, now we're finding the before, so the before is what we don't have, okay? We do have the after, $5,200. Okay, so the equation says 1.04 times x equals 5,200. Now make a wall on the side of the variable, okay, on the variable side. And x isn't by itself, so what are the operations x has with it? Well, it's got a times, so to figure x out, we need to divide. Okay, so we divide each side by 1.04. Okay, so 5,200 divided by 1.04. $5,000. Okay, so x is 5,000. Now it's a money problem. I mean, you can put 0.00 if you want. Okay. All right, now here's what we're doing today. You're gonna learn something new in this packet here. Now, these are not example problems. This is just to show you something. 1 over 2 equals 4 over 8. Because you see, if I take 1 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 8, it's the exact same thing. So these are ratios of equal value. They form a proportion. Now, another thing, 1 times 8 is 8, and 2 times 4 is 8. So those are equal. Now, let's do the same thing with 3 over 4. And 9 divided by 12, so those are equal. Now find the cross products, that's the diagonals. 3 times 12 is 36, 4 times 9 is 36, so again, those are equal. And I've kind of illustrated this before with you guys. 7 to 16, 7 times 16 is 112, and then 8 times 14 is going to be 112. Okay. Okay, 3/5. 3 divided by 5 is 0.6. 6 divided by 10 is 0.6. So 3 times 10 is 30. 5 times 6 is 30. Okay, so they're equal. Now, why do we need to know that? Well, you look on the next page, you have to solve for the variable x, but cross multiply divide's not going to get the job done because I know I got 7 times 8, but what about the x? It has a minus 2 with it, okay? So we need a second way. It's not quite as simple as cross multiply and divide. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to circle 7 times 8 and label that A and that B, okay? Then the outsides, I label that C and that D. So I know 7 times 8 is equal to 5 times x minus 2. So how do I solve for x? Well, that's what these parentheses over here are for. Now, they're set up for you in this assignment here. I probably shouldn't have set them up. You guys are capable of setting that up. So I have an equals with a parentheses times a parentheses on each side. Those are times. So on one side, I'm going to put my A and my B. So A is 7, B is 8. Meanwhile, on the other side, I know A times B, this times this is equal to this times this. So I'm going to put 5, and then on the other side, I'm going to put x minus 2. Okay. Now, we just have 2 numbers here, so I can find that product pretty easily. 7 times 8 is 56. But what about this side? We have to take 5 times x minus 2. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my minus a plus negative, and I'm going to put a 1 in front of the x, and then I distribute the 5 to the 1x and to the negative 2. Separately, you got to multiply 5 times both those things. So it's going to be 5x and negative 10. So I drop the plus, and I got 5x and negative 10. So this is my only x variable. It's on this side. What are the operations? You got times and plus. So circle your times. Got to take out the negative 10 by adding 10. Then 56 plus 10 is 66 equals 5 times x. Okay. Now to solve for a times, we divide. So divide by 5 takes out the times 5. And then 66 divided by 5 is going to give you my answer, 13.2. Yes, you can get decimals, as I just illustrated. Okay, next problem. Again, you can tell this by looking at that. You can't cross multiply and divide because, I mean, right here, that's A, that's B. So I'm going to have 3. And then I'm going to, in the second parentheses, that's A times B. I'll put x minus 4. And over here you got C times D. So C is 2 and D is the expression 3x plus 4. Okay, so you need to find these products on each side, okay? Because again, this times this is equal to if the ratios are equal value, then this times this expression times this expression is always equal to this times this. Okay, so I'm going to put a 1 in front of that x and make my minus plus negative, okay? So I'll take 3 times 1x and 3 times negative 4. So you got 3x and negative 12, so you drop your plus, and that side is now written as 3x and negative 12. There's nothing else there. But now to find this product, okay, here's the plus, so I distribute 2 to 3x and 2 to 4. Okay, so that's 6x and that's 8. So over here I have 6x plus 8. Now we have x on both sides, okay? So pick one of them. It doesn't matter which one, okay? I'll go with the 6x. And I take that to 0 by adding or subtracting. Now it's positive, so we'd minus it to get it to 0. Then minus it from 3x. So it's going to be negative 3x plus negative 12 equals 8. Okay, now you have x just on the one side with a times operation and a plus. So I take out the negative 12, so I add 12. 8 plus 12 is 20. Okay, then to solve a times, you're going to divide. Okay. I'm going to get another decimal, but I'm not going to let it freak me out. Okay. Negative 6.6 repeating. Just put a repeating sign over the 6 after the decimal. Okay, next problem. Obviously you can tell you're not going to be able to cross multiply and divide, so this times this, a times b, 3 and x plus 2 is always equal to c times d. So c is 2, d is negative 2x. Now you want to be careful on this side, okay? So I put the 1, I circle the plus, and I distribute the 3 across the plus. So 3 times 1x times 2, so that's 6x and 6. Okay, so that side's we've rewritten that side. Now, you don't put a 1 obviously because there's a negative 2 and you don't have a plus sign, okay? You're just taking 2 times negative 2x, okay? That's all you're doing. You're just finding a single product. You see here you have that plus sign. That's why I like to circle the plus. Well, I don't have a plus sign in between the negative 2 and the x, okay? So I'm really not doing the distributive property. I'm just doing a simple product. So it's x and then negative 4. Okay, now I got x on both sides, okay? We pick one we want to get rid of, but don't pick that one because then that side doesn't have a value, okay? So I want to pick this one, and I'll still have a 6 over there. So I take that to 0, so we have 6. Negative 4 minus 6. Now on a number line, if you're at negative 4 and you go 6 backwards to the left, you'd be at negative 10. Okay, now x is here. The only just one operation, a multiplication, so we just need to divide to solve it. Okay, so 6 divided by negative 10 is negative 0.6. Okay, now the next one, same idea. So you got a times b, and then c times d. Okay. Okay, so that a times b, so 3, and then x plus 4. There's a plus. If you want to put the 1, go for it. Now c is 4, and d is x plus 1. Again, you circle the plus. Okay. Alright, so we need to apply the distributive property across the plus. 3 to 1x, 3 to 4. Okay, so you'd have x, and 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so drop your plus, you got 3x plus 12. And over here we got to do the same thing with the 4. Okay, so drop your plus. Then I take 4 times 1x and 4 times 1. So it's 4x and 4. If you know that that's 4x and 4 right here, write it. Okay, again, you got an x on both sides, so I pick one of them, pick that one, because it doesn't matter which one I pick, because I'll have a value on each side remaining. Okay, so take your 3x to 0, you minus 3x, it's positive. So we have 12, that's 1x plus 4. Okay, minus 4, that's 8. 8 equals 1 times x. Now, I guess you can divide by 1, but it's still not going to change. It's 8, okay? Really, when I have 1 times x, it's the same as just x by itself. Okay, 2 more. X minus 8 over 5 equals x plus 3. Okay, so again, I can't just cross multiply and divide, but I know that this times this equals this times this. So A times B is equal to C times D. So A times B, so A is x minus 8. I'm not a fan of minuses, make it plus negative, so you have a plus instead of a minus, and then 4. Okay, and then C times D, so C, D, so we have x plus 3, and then 5, okay. Okay, we have pluses on plus on each side, so I distribute the 4. If you want to put a 1 in front of the x, go for it. Okay, so 4 is the distribution number. And I'm going to take it times 1x, and I'm going to take it times negative 8. So we have 4x, negative 32. So 4x, negative 32. Then on this side I have a plus. I need to go to the other parentheses and distribute my 5. So drop your plus down. So it's 5x and 15. Okay. Okay, again, x on different sides. Doesn't matter which one you pick, because you'll have a value that is there. Okay, take your 4x out, minus 4x, minus 4x. Okay, so you're going to have 1x plus 15. So you got times 1. If it's times 1, to be honest with you, as long as it's a 1, you can just get rid of it. Okay. So you just have a 5. You don't have. So if you take the 1 away, you can only. That only works with a 1. Any other number you got to keep there. Okay. So we don't have. We'll just take out the 15 minus 15 minus 15. So it'd be negative 42 negative 47. Excuse me. Equals x. Use a calculator if you need to. Again, I got rid of the times because it was by a 1. Any other number you need to actually deal with it. Okay, then A, B. I know that 4x times negative 2, 4x plus 1 times negative 2 is always going to be equal to negative 3, and x plus 9. So we have a plus, we circle it, and I distribute the negative 2 across the plus. That means you multiply. So first to 4x, then to 1. Then negative 2, so remember you want to drop your plus, and instead of this, you're going to have negative 8x and negative 2. Okay, then over here you have a plus again. I might recommend a 1 there. So negative 3, so drop your plus, negative 3 to 1x and negative 3 to 9. Okay, so it's x with negative 3, and negative 3 times 9 is negative 27. So you have negative 3x, negative 27. Okay, again, you have x's on both sides. I'll get rid of this one. Okay, it doesn't matter which one, as long as you have a remaining value. So if you want to take a negative to 0, you plus 3x, and then plus it to the negative 8x. Okay, if you're at negative 8 on a number line, you go 3 forward, you'd be at negative 7, negative 6, negative 5. So negative 5x plus negative 2 equals negative 27. So x is on this side, so I got a times negative 5 and a negative 2. So we have to take out the negative 2 first, we plus 2. Negative 27 plus 2 would be negative 26, negative 25. Okay, and then to solve a times, you divide. Okay, to get rid of the times, you divide by that same number. Okay, negative 25 divided by negative 5 is 5.